What is going on, guys? Hey, welcome to Sunday's Q&A session where we just go ahead and shoot it up and have a good time. Hey, I'm really excited to get into it and just talk some Detroit Lions latest, everything that's going on regarding the franchise, and we're getting closer to training camp, and that's really exciting because the closer we get to training camp, the closer that we're actually into real news. And guess what? That's closer to the NFL season and the new regime. We can actually see this bad boy occur for this season because we have a lot of 3 years of filth we like to get rid of, and it's time for that to change. So really, really excited. Every time Sunday passes is another week towards the end of the Quintricia filth on the field. Filth on the field. And it's excited to get away from that. Folks, if you've not hit that like button, smash that like button. I don't know how many likes there are right now. We got 8 people in the building. Okay, we got 5 likes. Not too bad. I'm going to say what's up to everybody so far that has joined this stream. We got Daryl Strickland hit me up on Twitter. Man, I love that Twitter thing. So I love the concept of getting hit on Twitter. So if you're on Twitter, do at MicroMike85. I love it. Adam Carver, what's going on, man? What is going on, folks? I'm going to have to be getting out some mod tags because the season's coming up. And so if you've been a subscriber of mine for a while, and or definitely if you're an individual that became a member, I'm going to give you guys some mod tags here, and I'm going to need your help this season because the trolls are about to come out, and it's really important to have individuals out there that can help, my channel out while this thing goes on. Randy Daniels, what's up, man? Welcome into here. Travis Doyley. Hey, it's nice to see Travis Doyley in here, man. Big time subscriber of mine for a long time. Absolutely love it. C-Rob, what's up, man? Welcome. And we got Good Morning from Colorado by Daryl Harold. Hey, all the way from Colorado. Love it, man. Love seeing people from all over the world, over the United States, coming in to hang out and talk some Lions. And that's what it's all about, just having some fun there. So if you are new to this, on Sunday, it's just a Q&A session. So all you got to do is comment. If you do a hashtag, it's easy for me to see the question. And whatever you want to talk about, man, this is your time to shine. There is something I want to talk about, though, about Frank Ragnow, and this came out just a little bit earlier. I actually made a news break video on this. Frank Ragnow, by his peers, by the players, executives, coaches, was named the 4th best offensive lineman in the NFL. That's an amazing congratulations to Frank Ragnow. That is more important than Pro Bowls to me, is when your peers recognize you and the people that actually are in the game recognize you to be the 4th best offensive lineman in the NFL. Huge. Love it, man. Absolutely love it. Congratulations, Frank Ragnow, and well-deserved. There's one individual that deserves high accolades. It's none other than the most humble player on our team, and that's Frank Ragnow. The guy plays with ferocity, but he is also an angel on his feet, like Dancing with the Stars. So huge shout out to Frank the Tank. And there's nothing bad that's gonna come out when you think of Frank Ragnow. It's always good because the guy is just high speed, low drag. Yes, C-Rob says he's ready for training camp. Big Wes, what's up, Big Wes? He says, what up, Doe? Do you guys agree that Frank Ragnow is a top 5 offensive lineman? Hey, the players, executives, and coaches says so. I like that, and I believe so for sure. I think he'll end up being the best center in the NFL. This year is where he really ascends, but per all the people that are in the game, he's already ascended, and to me, that's fantastic. I like seeing recognition to people that deserve the recognition, and he is well deserving of that. But again, if you got questions, let me know, folks, and we're going to get into it. And if I do miss out on your question, if I do not answer your question, it's not because I'm ignoring it. It's for that I missed it. Or for whatever reason, it did not pop up on my system, because that's happened a couple times. I'm not sure why that happens, but it does happen. So it's not that I'm ignoring it at all. Adam Carver says, and then soon will Sewell. Yes, I agree with you. I do believe Penei Sewell will be an individual that's going to be up there as well. This whole offensive line is up there, man, and I absolutely love seeing it from a Lions perspective, is seeing these big uglies get and dominate, because that's how you win football games, folks. It's the big uglies, and you dominate that way. That is the most, to me, that's how you win football games. That's the most way to go. And I have not named the Lions yet that I have on this on my screen here, but I am working up on more transitions. I'm working on more background images. It just takes some time. It generally takes about 8 hours to make one scene for you guys. C. Rob says he loves it. I love it too. Did you see Mark Orum's rant yesterday? Absolutely did see it, and I 100% concur. Look, folks, here's the deal when it comes to YouTube. Everyone's got an opinion, right? Everyone has an opinion, and doesn't necessarily mean the opinion's right. But guess what? It's his opinion, and it's your opinion. We all have opinions, and we should be able to be adults and talk about those opinions without getting told, well, you're a Lions hater. You're not a Lions fan. Clearly, Mark Oram, who spends a lot of time in this YouTube game, is a Lions fan, and he personally believes that this team is going to be a 5-win football team. Guess what? That's his opinion. There's no knocking it. We got a super chat from the GOAT himself, Travis the GOAT Doyley. He says, sorry it's been a while, but 12 hours, 6 days a week sucks anyways. Are the Lions going to sign Todd Gurley? First off, man, oh man, that's hard work, Travis Doyley. And, hey, make sure you get your rest when you're working 12 hours a day. And it's tough. Hopefully you get Sundays off in a couple weeks when, in about a month or two when the season starts. That's probably the most important time you want off, so you can watch your football games. Man, get that rest, bro. Get that rest. And I know it's hard sometimes getting this rest, but it's always important to get that rest. But when it comes to Todd Gurley, I've been saying this for a long time. It would be, it's more of a financial and training camp itself. A lot of players, a lot of veterans will want to wait a little bit so they don't have to do these off-season workouts. And you're going to see some of these other veterans start signing up here to deals with other teams. And, yeah, I think the Lions do sign him. I do believe that's who they sign. I just think it makes a lot of sense. They want it. He clearly came here for a want. Now, if he's asking some outrageous number, the Lions are being patient and letting him explore those options, but clearly the Baltimore Ravens didn't agree with whatever number he wanted because they didn't sign him. So maybe he's wanting an outrageous number, but I do believe he does eventually sign with the Detroit Lions. I think it makes sense. But if he doesn't, hey, he doesn't. But I'll give it a 65% chance at this point that he signs. So more than not. But I appreciate you, Travis Doyley. You know what? Hold on one second. Let me get some folks here to make you. There you go, Travis Doyle. How you like that, man? You now are a moderator on my channel. And, when it comes to moderators, just make sure, because it's not going to happen now with OPP or these Q&As, but when we do the Detroit Lions versus whoever, it gets crazy. You can get like 500, 600, 700 people in here, and I'm going to need your help to help me out with some of that stuff. I think they will sign Gurley if he drops his price to $2 million or less. Big West, I'm not sure exactly what he's wanting, but, it kind of makes sense around the $2 to $3 million price, in my opinion, just because, it's not like he didn't get touchdowns last year. He had 9 touchdowns. Very good at that. So we'll see, but I can kind of concur with that sentiment when it comes to, obviously, his price tag. So I think that's probably what he'll get, $2 to $3 million. Initially, when free agency started a couple months ago, I thought $5 million. That is considerably dropping, in my opinion, unless a injury happens to a superstar on a team, on a running back, then I can see the price tag go up if that does occur and he waits it out. So, but we'll see how that happens for there. This team should win more than 5 games, but time will tell. 100%. Look, I think that this team's my win total is 6 wins. I hope the Lions do much more than that, obviously. I'm just looking at the strength of schedule as well as there is some holes on this team. So I'm keeping my expectations low. And I'm not really looking at, improving this team is by wins and losses. I'm looking at effort. Does the players buy into what Dan Campbell is selling? If they buy in, that spells great news for the future of this franchise. This is something that is important towards a team. Will they buy into what the coach is selling? Clearly, Matt Patricia was trying to sell something that no one bought into, so he took a 9-win team and just made them pretty bad. Now, if you can take a Dan Campbell football team and all the players are giving all the effort that they can get, regardless of their talent, that spells greatness for the future of this franchise. And I do believe this is the case. I've seen a lot of regimes come and go. This is something different that I've never seen. I've never seen a guy who connects to the level that Dan Campbell is connecting to. And Brad Holmes, I love him as a GM. I didn't really know him before he became general manager, but once I listened to interviews and how he interacts with people and he defends our coach, I love this guy. And I think these two are just perfect for Detroit. Like, it's literally a match made in heaven. It is a key going into a keyhole. It's something that I feel you need, because you need, in Detroit, the media, obviously the city, there's a lot of hate towards the Lions and Detroit. It's been a losing franchise, etc. You know everything about that. And so you need a different type of individuals to elevate this and get past that. And when you have Dan Campbell, the way that he acts, he doesn't care about national media. He's going to say what he wants to say. That's the type of individual you'll need. And that is vital towards changing the culture here in Detroit. So regardless of the win total, that's what I want to see. If I see that, I'm telling you right now, it's good news for the future, because I don't care about just one season. I want to see this team be good for many, many years. I want to see this become a team like the Green Bay Packers, like the Steelers, like the Ravens, a team that you can consistently see as a team in the playoffs. Not just 1 year, but for multiple years. This city deserves it. And so I'm 100% on this idea of, if we don't win a lot this year, I'm not jumping off the bandwagon at all. That's just not it. You can't pay a running back 3 more than a running back 2 and a running back 1. Yeah, it just all depends, man. It all depends. If you look at teams that's trying to get to a Super Bowl, they're willing to get all the veterans on their football team, like a Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or if you look at the Rams a couple years ago, they're willing to spend the money. So it all really depends. But look, I'm with about being fiscally responsible when it comes to contracts. And I look at the Detroit Lions. I look at their cap situation right now. It's fairly good. I look at for next year, it's extremely good. And the following year, it's Indianapolis Colts level of good. So I'm not too worried about contracts right now, as long as it's 1-year deals. So I'm not going to flip out. With that said, I love the 1-year deals right now, just to make sure. And if you look at the multi-year deals, that's hurt this team. Trey Flowers, Vati Vaitai, that's something I'm not looking for. So if they're wanting to get a Todd Gurley or a said player, any other player, let's just do a 1-year deal. It is the lion on your screen for the head coach. Yes. That is the lion that Dan Campbell wanted. So, look, he wanted a real lion, so I wanted to give him a real lion out there. So I made sure to get him one. I got a couple more on here, too. I got to make more scenes where it's single scenes. I got a lot of multi-people scenes where I have multi-guests on here, but I don't have a ton of scenes of just myself. So I'll make some more. I'll get some more Lions for you guys. Again, it takes about 8 hours to do so. That's quite a bit of time. Another super chat by the GOAT, Travis Doyley. Are there any players in free agents that you want us to sign? I want us to sign another safety. I would like to get Malik Hooker. I think he would be the guy I'd look at. That would be not only just as a free agent, but as the safety, as both. He would be a guy I definitely would look at, but I'm sure there's other teams that would look to get him as well. Kenny Vaccaro, if you can't get Malik Hooker, he would be a player I'd look at for safety as well. I would like to get Todd Gurley. That would be an option too for that running back 3. If they don't believe in Vati Vaitai, now I think this one's a long shot. I definitely don't think it's going to happen. But David DeCastro would be nice to have as a right guard. I know he has a little bit of injuries in there. But man, oh man, imagine having an offensive line completely thrusted with players who you know have high talent. David DeCastro and Penei Sewell, Frank Ragnow on that right side. Good Lord, man. So, I mean, I would like for that to happen, but that seems to be like a 5% chance. Not going to happen. But that's a personal preference of mine. I think that would be nice to accommodate. If the Lions wanted to make a trade, I'm not looking to give up draft capital right now for a player unless it's Hicks. Linebacker would be definitely something I would look upon upgrading. I'm still not convinced on the middle of the field of this core just because I watched last season and I seen the lack of speed and talent. I do believe in Collins. I think he's the best linebacker. Derek Barnes, I have extreme high hopes for him as the future of the Detroit Lions, but he is a rookie, so we got to lower expectations. So if they can bring in a Hicks, make a trade, something like that, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Depending on capital, that would be something I would look into. What is going on, Keith? Welcome, man. He says, good to see you live. Absolutely. So I'm live every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. EST, and I try to go live at 11 in the morning every single Sunday. It's difficult to do every single Sunday because I do have a life, and I do now YouTube. I spend a lot of time doing it. So when you look at the hours that I do on here, it's quite a bit of time between this and news break. I would say about 30 hours a week. Plus, I try to make new scenes on here, so that's around 38 to 40 hours a week I spend, and I work a normal job of 40 hours a week at my normal job. So it's a lot of time, so generally I like to at least have one day off, but I try to give an hour on a Sunday because I know everybody does not have the time to do a live Q&A on Thursday, so that's important to me, is to talk to you directly. What's going on? Preston's Sports Talk, Pranks, and more. If you have a YouTube channel, let me know, Preston. I will throw that out there for people to subscribe. I'm always supporting people's content on the side. It's difficult to start up in this YouTube game, real hard, and sometimes you just need a little bit of shout-outs and a little bit of movement to get up in there. Oh, no, you the GOAT, man. You guys are all the GOAT, man. No doubt about it. You're the GOAT. Let's see here. I think we need to get a running back. Depending on the run is great, but a highly injury position. Swift, Williams go down, we're in trouble. Keith, yeah, and you got to, and this is what I tell people too, is the Detroit Lions are going to be running more than we've seen in the past, so I would definitely not be opposed to them getting Todd Gurley for a third down back. I like Jefferson, but he is a rookie, a 7th-round rookie. And if there is an injury, it is a good to have someone back there. And I've just seen so many times throughout the years past, the Lions not getting that first down and the critical third down, keeping the offense on the field, and more importantly, getting those touchdowns in the goal line. You know, we need to get those touchdowns. And so if they can get a Todd Gurley, I would not be opposed to it. But just like a previous subscriber stated, I'm not willing to just throw any money at him, anything like that. That's something I'm not. But I'm definitely would be liking that idea, and that's why I've been pounding Todd Gurley, man, when the season ended, because when he was a free agent, I was like, it makes a lot of sense to reunite him. Once we got Brad Holmes and Jared Goff. We reunite him there. But I always thought it'd be a good idea to get him. Okay, make sure you guys subscribe to Preston's Sports Talk, Pranks, and More. Look, it's a smaller YouTube channel. It's hard to get up in there. I'm going to check it out after this stream. And make sure I subscribe and watch his videos. It's always important to help out these YouTube channels because it's hard, folks. It's real hard. Good morning, Kevin. Appreciate you jumping in here on this beautiful Sunday. Odds the Lions get the linebacker from Arizona. You know, I don't know. I don't know, if that's something they're wanting to do. Because we don't know, first off, the price tag of getting Hicks. So we can't... I'm not willing to just throw any capital out there. It's got to be right price tag of capital. Now, his salary cap is not bad at all, so that's not a big deal. It's how much can we get him for. It would be an immediate upgrade from what we have. So, there's not been any connections between Hicks and Detroit, except for myself looking at it and it's just saying they said he could seek a trade. It is a very good linebacker who produced. We have a issue at linebacker. It makes a lot of sense, and he's a veteran. So I cannot give you a percentage because I don't know what Brad Holmes is thinking here. This is one of the hardest regimes to really look at when it comes to acquiring talent, because in years past, I can look at Bob Quinn or I can look at Matt Patricia, and I can tell you these are the guys they're going to target in the NFL draft. They got a lot of the draft picks right, free agents. It was fairly easy to tell. These guys, it's a whole different story. It's not easy to tell. I'll need a probably this, just looking at it, it's difficult. So I'm going to give 30% chance. I'll do that, 30% chance. Will we run to set up the passing game? I do believe so, Randy. I think that is the concept that we're going to be doing here. Is we're going to be running to do the setting up the play action pass. I think that's the team you want to do, because if you look at Jared Goff and what he was successful in Los Angeles, it was running the football, hilarious enough, is with Todd Gurley, and play action pass. And I think if we bring that concept here, that would be smart. Anthony Lynn is a run type of coach. So I do believe that's the case, 100%. What about Duke Johnson? I don't know exactly what's going on with Duke Johnson. I'd have to look into that a little bit more, Keith. In all honesty, I have not looked at that. Odds Eagles get Steven Nelson or Richard Sherman. Oh, man. Richard Sherman, I think, is going to go to a team that's predominantly in the playoff race. I don't think he would go to the Eagles. I just don't think they're at that position yet. And I'm not sure about Steven Nelson. But I do not believe Richard Sherman will be a Philadelphia Eagle. Honestly, he probably could go back to Seattle or the 49ers. That would make sense. And go to those two places. Maybe another team like the Cowboys. I don't know. Who do you think the Tigers draft tonight? I have no idea, Kevin. No idea. That is something that you could ask Mark Orm from Orm's Forum. His channel is on my featured channel list. He does Detroit Tigers a lot more than I do. I couldn't tell you. Seems like a lot of holes for our backs, and keeping Goff upright is obviously should be the main priority. So if the money and cap space is right, Todd Gurley and any offensive lineman, that makes sense. See, Rob, yeah, we got a great offensive line right now, and I have no problem if they wanted to even invest a little bit more. I don't think that's going to be the case because I think they're very comfortable with this offensive line. So comfortable, that's why you hear rumors of trading Tyrell Crosby, and I'm not a fan of trading Tyrell Crosby. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I think they're fairly comfortable with the offensive line. But when it comes to getting another running back like a Todd Gurley, it makes sense to me. It definitely makes a lot of sense, and I think that would be a smart move for the Lions to do. Do you think the Philly? I don't know, man. I don't know, Kevin. Who the Phillies would draft? I watch MLB, but I'm not that big into it when it comes to the when the MLB draft and that type of aspect. So I truly do apologize. Again, I would refer you to Mark Oram. He does MLB a lot more than I do. He's a part of Infinite Sports Network, and he is a featured channel on my channel. So that's the route I would suggest for more of definitely a quality look there. Is that your lion? That's definitely my lion right there. Yep, I made this lion up. I have many different lions. I have walking lions. I have all sorts of fun. Let me see here if I can show you this one. I got this lion here. He's walking around. This is my two-person look here where it's me. But I like having my lions up and showing different views. And look, I got to get more. I got to make more. It just takes a lot of time to do this stuff, folks. It takes a lot of time, so absolutely. Can't have enough pitching. That's 100%, man. If you're Tigers, you can't have enough pitching. Pitching is what does this game. What does it, man? What's up, Antonio Hall? Hey, welcome to the live Q&A on the channel here. The Carolina guy, what's up, man? He says, let's go, let's go. Hey, if you got questions, folks, if you just got in here, let me know. Would you sign a free agent Quan Alexander on the cheap deal because of his injury history? Actually, I would sign him. I had him on one of my featured free agents before NFL free agency that the Detroit Lions should take a look at. Yes, he has an injury history, but I have no problem building that linebacking depth up. Still, I would look for the Hicks trade first. If I can't get that done, I have no problem bringing an Alexander to help this depth out. So that is vital. That is 100% important. And I got a question here. Can you put his channel on? I'm going to do that right now. Just give me 1 second here. While I do this, I'm going to send you the link to his channel so you can ask him. He does live Q&As too. So all you got to do is ask him a question, and he will hit it up. This is Mark's channel. Go ahead and check that out. And let me get off there for it. So there you go, Kevin. That link is his channel. We got a $5 super chat from the GOAT himself, Travis Doyley. Where do you think our best player is on the offensive side of the ball and defensive side of the ball? Fantastic question by the GOAT himself. The best offensive player. Right now, Frank Ragnow is the best offensive player, and if you were not here earlier, the NFL players, executives, and coaches named Frank Ragnow the fourth best offensive lineman in the NFL. Congratulations to him. He is the best offensive player. Second best offensive player for the Detroit Lions, TJ Hockenson. Absolutely a stud. He's going to break out and have a fantastic year for our beloved Detroit Lions. We go to the defensive side of the ball. I would say Romeo Okwara right now is the best defensive player on this football team. With the extension he got paid, and I think him being a vet, he's like in the perfect age too. He's a veteran, but he's not old. He has a lot of good years left in him because he's young, and he's just getting better and better. And we've seen that last year, just getting better. I think he's going to get better this year with a more quality defensive staff. I mean, and obviously you got players around him that's going to help him out because he's not getting all the attention from, the linemen and through schematics of an offensive coordinator and all that stuff. So I think he would be the best offensive player. The second best, or defensive player, the second best defensive player for our beloved Detroit Lions. Whew, this is an interesting one. And, I know this is going to be, people are going to say it's a rookie, but I just feel like he has a very high ceiling. I'm not saying he's going to be the best this year, but I'm going to say Levi Onwuzurike. I love the big uglies. Him getting after the quarterback through the straight middle of the field, as well as stopping the run, is going to be so important to this defense. It's going to make wonders. And he was he was literally the one or two best defensive tackle in this last year's draft. And to get him where we got him is fantastic news. I love what he's going to bring. I'm not saying he's going to be the best defensive player this year for the Lions, but for right now, when I look at this roster, to me, right now, he, because defensive tackles can do better immediately compared to other positions, and I think he'll do good immediately. Still, he's a rookie. Expectations should be a little bit down on rookies compared to veteran players, but I just love what he's doing here for the Lions. Let's see here. How can the Lions... Oh, I missed some questions here. Sorry about that. How can the Lions upgrade at wide receiver? Well, upgrade at wide receiver may have to wait till next year's NFL draft, and I think that's what they're going to do. But if they're wanting to get an immediate upgrade, just depending on what players are released from other football teams when they get to 53/55-man roster, that's a way to upgrade the position, just depending on what player gets released. Other than that, they could make a trade. I just don't see that. And, oh yes, he does, Kevin, he does do Detroit Lions content, no doubt about it. But he does MLB, and if you got questions about your football or your MLB team, he will have answers. He watches all of it. So, yes, you just got to ask him a question, and he'll talk about it. He does New York Giants. He does everything, but that he definitely knows about it. So all you got to do is leave him a comment, and he will probably make a video upon it. But I think that's how they're going to upgrade. We're just going to have to embrace the suck this year. But they could make a trade. Don't see that happening. It's possible, but I give it an extremely low chance of that happening. Should we all have a backup team ready by week 8 to root for? No, man, I don't root for any other NFL team. And I just don't. It's hard for me to root for another football team unless I'm rooting against. So if we're starting to suck, whatever team's playing against the Rams, root for that team. Because we want the Rams to have a bad record so we can get a better draft pick if that's the case. And if you have a fantasy team, root for those players. Fantasy football, and we're going to be doing an Infus Sports Network fantasy team. It's going to be fun. So once we get that up, we'll do a fantasy draft. Everybody will be welcome to join. We'll do a live fantasy draft, and we'll have a lot of fun. So I'd say fantasy football, root against the Packers, root against the Rams. Don't need to take on another team. What team is better, Panthers or Jets? I would say the Panthers are definitely a better football team than the Jets right now. Jets they're in a rebuild mode as well. I think the Panthers are a little bit ahead of them for sure. But yeah, I'd say definitely the Panthers are a better football team. What team is better, Minnesota or Chicago? Great question. I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears right now. I trust their defense more. Minnesota had a rough defense, but their offense is very good. I think they have a fantastic offense, but I like defense. And I think Justin Fields can to be a really good quarterback. Just depends how they integrate him into this offense. But we've seen Chicago quarterbacks just fail ever. So, it's yet to be seen. But I'd say Chicago, they went to the playoffs last year. Let's see. Do you think Wright can beat out Bullock for the kicking job? I think he can. It's possible, but I don't know, man. I have not a single idea until training camp because we haven't heard a single word about this. So I'm definitely interested on what happens with this kicking position. It's very possible. I would say right now, Bullock, I would say 55-45. So, yeah, it's anyone's game at this point. It's anyone's game. We've seen out of nowhere Jack Fox come in and dominate last year, so no doubt it's anyone's. Lions better have a nickel dime packages. They do. It's just dependent again on can Aaron Glenn get everything right for this defense. And we got a lack of talent, so it's just one of those things where they're going to do. I think they're going to do the best they can do with what they have. I don't think it's going to be the scheme that fails them at all. John Campbell, he's been dropping a lot of content lately. He's a Detroit Lions YouTuber. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. I love the grind that he's been doing, watching his videos. Do you think Swift or Hawk can both have 8 reception touchdowns this year? I think Hawkinson will have more than that. I think it's more 9 or 10. Swift, I don't think he'll get that for receptions. I think he can get that for, obviously, the running game, but that's pretty hard to do with receptions. But I'll take the over on Hawk and the under on Swift. Can we get another NFL team in Detroit? No, you're not going to see two teams in the same city. You see a Houston Texans and a Dallas Cowboys, or you see Los Angeles. Well, I guess you could see a Los Angeles Chargers and Rams, but that's LA. Detroit is a much smaller market, so I don't see that happening at all. Could they do another NFL team in another city in the state of Michigan? Possible, maybe Grand Rapids, something like that, but I don't see it happening. It's difficult. It's real difficult to get another NFL franchise started. More than likely, a team in the NFL will go to like the London. Go to London or something like that. That'll probably be the next team. If they ever expand, that would be the next team. Or if a team leaves, like Jacksonville, becomes the London Jaguars or something like that. But let's see. I feel that we're going 0-16 again. I'm sorry, man. Well, that's impossible because there's 17 games, my man. There are 17 games this year, so that is absolutely impossible to happen. I don't see we're going to go 0-17. I don't think. The Detroit Lions roster is better than the 0-16 Lions roster. It's not even close. You look at the quarterbacks we had there. John Kitna initially, Dante Culpepper, Dan Orlowski. That's not even close. Jared Goff is better than that. And in all honesty, we probably could have won a game in the Minnesota Vikings in 2008. But to go 0-17, it's extremely difficult to not win a football game in a year. We have more talent than that. If you look at the Lions' offensive line, top 5, top 10 offensive line, that there will win you a football game. So yeah, I don't see that happening. Could we win? 3-6? Yeah, it's possible to go 0-17 is very, very difficult. How do you feel about next year trading for a wide receiver and a quarterback and a cornerback? Well, look, I think the Detroit Lions are going to have a ton of capital. And if the Lions are going to do any sort of trading, it would probably be the draft. Trading up in the draft or trading down in the draft. And if they're wanting, say if Jared Goff flops, I have no problem with them upgrading the quarterback position. I have no problem upgrading the wide receiver position at all, or corner. I have no problem with that, as long as you're not giving up too much money or draft capital. And to me, the best trades are done in the NFL draft because why? The contracts are cheap because they're rookies and they're young and they're a player you're targeted. So I have no problem with that at all. And if they're trying to make a trade for a player, to me, it would be more of year 3. Like if they're trying to acquire talent via trade of a player of another football team, year 3 makes more sense to me than year 2, because year 2, you got to draft. Like this team would be up and I expect the Lions to be a 9-win football team next year, right? Because they're going to have the draft picks. They'll be able to upgrade the roster in Brad Holmes' image. He'll be able to get rid of all the players he wants to. At that point, if they wanted to get rid of Jamie Collins or Vati Vaitai or whoever they want to get rid of, Trey Flowers, if they want to go there, I'm not saying they are, they have the capital to replenish the talent. And so I would suggest if you make a trade for a player, it would be a back draft pick, nothing high, because I really want to build through the NFL draft, or trade up or down in the NFL draft for a specific type of player. If Goff sucks and they think that there's a franchise quarterback in this year's draft and they're, say, 4 or 5 picks away from it, but you think this guy is the next guy, do it. Go ahead, do it. If you look at what the 49ers did, they did give up a lot. I would definitely not give up what the 49ers give up, but Trey Lance, to me, is going to do fantastic for their team for years to come. If you think there's a Patrick Mahomes out there, or if you think there's an Aaron Rodgers, or you think that there is a player of that type of caliber, I have no problem doing it. None at all. And if they want to get a wide receiver, if they feel that if they can get a wide receiver that will elevate this passing game and help out, say, a Jared Goff or his replacement, do it. Do it. No problem at all. It's same with corner. But when it comes to cornerback position, I don't think we're going to need to trade for a corner. I really don't. Why? I feel like Jeffrey Okudah will develop this year. And in year 3, he should be pretty good to go. And I do have high hopes for Amani Oruwariye. This is year 3 for him. So I think that he will do fairly decent. Now, if it doesn't work out, hey, you can always upgrade the position. I have no problem with that because corner is difficult to find a good one. But I'm not willing to give up 2 first-round draft picks for a Jalen Ramsey or anything like that. No, draft a player. I'm not going to give up that type of compensation for one player. It just seems too much to me. When is Mark's live streams? He does Tuesday. I'm actually on there, Kevin. So on Tuesday, he does a live stream. And it's Orm's Forum. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So jump on there, ask him any MLB question, and he will do that. Now Keith says no trades. No trades. We need to find what we have, including possible comp picks. Yeah, I don't want to do a trade this year for draft picks. I'm not wanting to do it unless it's like a Hicks type of player. I'm really not wanting to do that. But if they wanted to do a player swap for a player that's not going to make this football team, for a player that is not going to make another team's football team, I have no problem with that because guess what? If you ain't going to make the team anyways, might as well give somebody a tryout. No problem. The Pontiac Patriots left by Matt Patricia. Oh man, that would be. You put them in the Pontiac Silverdome. Isn't it completely destroyed now? Yeah, it would match him. A destroyed stadium for a destroyed quarterback or a destroyed coach. Sorry. So no, that makes perfect sense. What do you think, Stafford being a Super Bowl winner in 2 seasons? I don't think it's going to happen, man. I truly don't. If they don't get to a Super Bowl this year, I think this is the window. This year is for Sean McVay. He has to do it this year because I just don't see it happening, man. I truly don't. The NFC is so stacked with so many good teams. I believe that this year it's going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I do a repeat for them. That's what I have. I had last year. I had Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning the Super Bowl. I see them repeating. I do. I think they're going to. They didn't even start off that great last year. If you look at Tampa Bay, they didn't start off great. They just finished strong. I think they're going to start off pretty good. And guess what? They're going to finish strong as well. So I look at Tampa Bay this year, and next year, who knows? I don't see it, man. Could he win a playoff game? He could, very well could. If CFL playing this year, I don't know. I'm sure I would expect that they should. The Canadian Football League. I don't watch the Canadian Football League at all. How you feel so strong about the Lions not going 1-16 or 3-14? I feel the Lions are going to go 6 wins. I think that's the outcome for the Detroit Lions. I think if you look at the Lions last year, so in the last couple years, their coaching staff was extremely poor, yet they still won games. I feel like this coaching staff is much improved. So they're going to win this, they're going to win some games. Is the talent a little bit less when it comes to quarterback? Yeah. But guess what? The talent is better on the defensive side of the ball and the interior of the defensive line. So I think that they can win 5-6 games. I think that's the route they're going to go with. If you look at the schedule, they could probably. It all depends too on Aaron Rodgers. If he is a Green Bay Packer, I don't think we win a Green Bay game. But if he's not a Green Bay Packer, the Lions could win a Green Bay game. You could take a game. So I think that is possible. 3 wins, yeah, it's possible. It's possible. I just have my record as 6 wins. That's what I'm going with. Armac says at MicroMike, the Wizard of Lion. Oh, man, that's hilarious. First off, is that because... I love that, man. The Wizard of Lion. Holy smokes, like the Wizard of Oz. Let me get that lion up there. I love it, man. Oh, I gotta find my Wizard of Lion. When I think of the Wizard of Lion, I think of this. Oh, the Wizard of Lion right there. And we got a tweet from Greg. I love these tweets, man. Thank you for the retweet, Greg. Again, if you are on Twitter and you're listening to me right now, if you got a question, Greg, just do @MicroMike85 and it pops up and I can answer your question. If you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitch, y'all can comment too. And we can have fun. So it's not just YouTube. We're on all these platforms, and all you got to do is @MicroMike on Twitter. And I love it. To me, these are the greatest because it's cool to see a tweet pop up for a question. Let's see here. You don't have to move up to get a good quarterback. Where was Mahomes and Rodgers drafted? 100%. You don't have to. No, you're 100% right. And you don't have to. But I'm saying if there is a quarterback like that out there, and you're convinced that this guy is that guy, would you move up and get him? Say Patrick Mahomes, right? Say, I forgot where he was drafted. I'm not exactly sure what pick he was drafted at. But say you're 3 back from the Kansas City Chiefs pick, and you knew that Patrick Mahomes was going to be Patrick Mahomes. Would you trade up to get him? Yeah, I think everyone would do that. So that's what I'm trying to say there, is if you feel that there's a player of that caliber, just do it. Like Josh Allen, he's an up-and-comer, man. If you feel like there's a player like that, then do it. Let's see here. Hey, we got another tweet. Woo! At the MicroMike on Twitter. Do you think Thigby will explode with Stafford there? I don't know. I don't think he's gonna explode. I think he'll have better production. But when you look at Stafford, man, I would look at, yeah, he could spread the ball around fairly quickly. And it's not going to be to just one individual. I think his production will go up, though, because they are going to pass more now with Stafford. Would I take him in fantasy? That's a question mark. What 6 games do you see the Lions winning? Oh, I'd have to go over the schedule again, but I can see the Lions winning one Chicago game. I can see them winning possibly a Green Bay game, just depending. If Aaron Rodgers is not there, I could see them win a Green Bay game. When it comes to the Chicago game, I'm hoping on Thanksgiving. I think that makes sense. The Lions haven't won a Thanksgiving game in a while. You can go ahead and take a win there. The Cincinnati Bengals game, even though I think that's going to be tougher than people think because Burrow is pretty good, they can win that football game there. Man. It's going to be hard against Cleveland. I don't think we win that game. The Baltimore, don't think we win that game. Steelers, I think it's a possible win to defeat the Steelers. I think they're a little bit overrated. I think Ben Roethlisberger is a little bit less. I think you've seen him, his age really come up at the end of the season last year. And, it's just one of those things where maybe his era is kind of done. But I can see the Lions pulling off a W there, potentially winning in Minnesota. Impossible. It's going to be difficult. These NFC North games going to be difficult, but I can see a W there. I'd love the Lions to beat the Rams. I don't see that's going to happen, though. I think the Rams will win that game just because they are a good football team. But, man, oh, man, if there's one game I want the Lions to win the most, it would be the Los Angeles Rams to go to L.A. and defeat. And it's not just Stafford at this point. I cannot stand Sean McVay. He's been driving me ape for a while. I think he's a little conceited. I think he's a little arrogant. And with his gushing of Stafford is a little hyperbolic in my opinion. And it's a lot of disrespect towards Jared Goff. So at this point, I would love the Lions to beat them and just give a kind of a middle finger, man. Jared Goff get a middle finger to Sean McVay. At this point, I'm it's making me not like I was ready to move on for Stafford. But with so much love given to him, it's making me not like him, and I got to realize it's not him doing it. It's more of the media and Sean McVay. And so that's just driving me nuts. But I'd love to pull out a W there for the Detroit Lions. Where you get the Lion background? Oh, I make it. I make it. So it takes, when you see these backgrounds, it takes about 8 hours to make. So I go clip by clip by clip, and that's how I do it. So it takes a long time to do so. Everything is done scene by scene, and it just takes a long time, man. So, Carver, thank you so much for the retweet, brother. I appreciate you. Another tweet. I love the tweets. They're the best to me, and that makes me happy. If I miss your question, just redo it. We hear year after year that the coach is different, but every year we're rebuilding when it comes to the point. I'm tired of this. Well, let me ask you something here, Antonio Hall. Do you think that Dan Campbell is different from coaches that we've had in the past? Let me know. I want to know what everybody in the comment section thinks. Do you think that Dan Campbell is much different than coaches that we've had in the past? I do. And clearly the media does. The media hates it. I love it. I think he's completely different from what we've seen in the past. Dan Campbell is something of a lion, and he's an alpha male, and he's something we haven't seen in a while. And he's put a coaching staff around him of former players, the Avengers coaching staff. Will it work out? I don't know, Antonio Hall. It may completely fail. It may be an absolute fail, and you may be right. But I think it's different. I don't think this is going to fail. I didn't like the Matt Patricia hire. Didn't like it at all. Initially, when it come to Caldwell, I didn't like the hire until I heard him speak his press conference, and I was like, ooh, I like this guy's leadership. But I love Dan Campbell. I think this guy is exactly what Detroit needs. Let me know if you guys, though, in the comment section, thinks he's different. And we got another tweet. It says, thank you, brother. Fantasy draft 1 month away. Football blood is flowing. Love the programming. Well, Daryl Strickland, I appreciate you, man. You're absolutely awesome. And I love it, man. I appreciate your coming in here. We will be doing a fantasy for the Detroit Lions. We'll be doing a fantasy draft, and you can be a part of that if you want to. Once we get that up, we will put it out to the subscribers. Y'all can join, and you can face each other. We could face each other, and we'd love to talk smack and just have a good time. That's what it's all about, folks. How is it that we got 47 in the building and only 28 thumbs up? Smash that like button, folks, because the more likes we get, the more chance this stream gets out there. And guess what? Now, you've heard me say in videos, but this is legitimate. Chat Sports, they monitor my channel, and guess what? They want those likes up. They tell me this all the time, and they're pretty big, man. They're pretty big, and guess what? I think when it comes to the Lions, I'm not going to lie, man. I think that some of these higher folks kind of think that our fandom is not as real as the Pride Nation really is. I think our fandom is extremely high. And that's why I'd love to show them specifically that we are a real fan base. So if you can smash that like button, we will get up in there. Are you tired of fans who want to make a trade for a wide receiver? We need to be patient. I'm not tired at all, man. Look, everyone's got their opinions, and what I love about the United States of America is we have the freedom of speech and freedom to say whatever you want to say. And I love that concept. I may not agree with it. I may think that's not the way I would do things, but I'm just one guy. And guess what? All my subscribers, we're all the same. I am no better than you on my point of view. Not better. You're all the same. And so we all have different views. I just personally think we build through the draft. That's my philosophy. I feel like that's something that the Lions have not done. And if you don't build through the draft, how can you be a competent franchise? But no, man. Everyone's got their opinions. What I don't like is when people suggest you're not a Lions fan because you don't agree with me. Or you're an idiot because you don't agree with me. That is not proper way of talking. In today's world, we've gotten this concept of if you don't agree with me, you're an idiot. And that goes to politics, that goes to everything, and I just think that's not smart. That's not smart at all, because just because you don't agree with somebody doesn't mean they don't have the right to think that way. It's whatever it is. But everyone has the right. Now, he is totally different, so we got one different by Daryl for Motor City's Dan Campbell. Antonio Hall says, no, he's not different. We got yes, different, so that's 2 different. Now, this is by far not the same old line, so 3. We'll find out soon. Yeah, 100%. And in Antonio, what I would suggest to you, you have the right to feel this way, 100%. 100%. You want, and you should, you deserve to see it. Just like Dan Campbell said, I can tell you all this stuff, but it all's on the field. It's all about the production. So 100%, man. If I were you, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Wait till you see those wins. You're a Lions fan. You're in here. So don't wait until you see it. 100%, man. I'm not going to sell no Kool-Aid. I'm not Jim Jones over here. I'm not going to give you spiked Kool-Aid so you can end up in a bad situation at all. It's just my opinion. In 3 seasons, we'll be going through this all again. Now, I disagree there. I don't believe that. I think that in 3 seasons, we're going to be the Arizona Cardinals of this year. I think this team is going to be a good football. I think Arizona's going to be a good football team this year. I think the Detroit Lions in 3 years will be kind of like the Detroit Lions of 2011, where they took that next step and won 10 games. Not saying it's going to be the same type of football team at all. Not at all. I just think they're going to be a good football team at that point. Do you ever host any tailgate streams? Yes, I do, Charles. Every single Sunday. Charles, so if you're new to this channel, I do this every single Sunday. I will be live for the Lions games. We do a pregame show on the Gridiron Blitz channel. Then I go live on this channel for the live watch party. You have the audio of the game. You have all the stats popping up. You have the score. And you have me going nuts. And I do play-by-play. So if you were here last year, I do play-by-play. And I break what's happening on the field. And I'm telling you what's happening. Because that's fun to know. You know, you hear these commentators out there, and they kind of get into conversations like about nothing to do with football. That's not what happens here. I'm going to tell you what takes place, who's at fault, who made a good play. So, yes, it's fun, man, and it gets hype on here. The highest I had was 800 some people in the chat. So generally, it's around, I'd say 400 to 800 people in the chat, and it's fun, man. It's real fun. People love it. So make sure you're there. Well, I'll be doing that for all the preseason games as well. So you're going to have all your Lions content. What happens on Sunday? Pre-game, I do the live stream. I make a video. I talk about what occurred in that game. Then I do a post-game show on the Gridiron Blitz. So it's all day Detroit Lions from about 10:30 in the morning to about 7, 8 at night. So Sunday is a busy day. And if you love Detroit Lions, you will love Sundays because it is all fun. And we're going to be doing that for the preseason as well. So I'll do on Thursday, I'll have the preseason going. I won't be on a pregame show because, well, maybe a little bit on the Gridiron Blitz's channel. But I'll do the live watch party, the preseason. I'll break down. We'll talk about who's the winners and losers. We'll talk about, what took place. We're obviously going to talk about camp battles. And then after it, I will make a video talking about it, and then we'll do a post-game show. And that'll probably end about 11:30, 12 at night. So get excited for all of that. It's going to be absolutely fun. I'm excited because I lose my voice. I get a little animated. And that's why I'm going to need some of the mods here. So I'll be getting some mods because it gets crazy in this chat. If you've been a subscriber of mine, you've seen it. And so I'm going to need some mods to help me out. So if you're willing to help me out on Sundays, just let me know. And I will look to see to mod you up. But it's kind of a job. It's kind of a job. You want to be part of the fantasy draft? Okay, you're in it, Antonio Hall. You are in the fantasy draft, and I'll talk to Troxel Sports today. So he'll probably make up 2 leagues because there's going to be a lot of people on there, and we'll get that up for you and everybody else. We'll have that good to go. I'll talk to him today, and I'll get you guys a draft day and time we do a live draft. You can come in and we can shoot the S and we'll do the live draft and we're going to have a great time. So I'll talk to him today about that. If you guys are interested, other people, let me know. Help restore the world, Daryl. I appreciate you, man. Daryl Harold, awesome, man. Absolutely help restore that roar. And you want to know what? This is what it's all about. It's YouTubers, it's content creators coming together and changing the narrative about Detroit. I'm not just talking about the Detroit Lions. I'm just talking about the city itself. I think the city has gotten such a bad rap over the years, and I think it's really not good, man. There's other cities out there that people don't talk about, but Detroit, man, it's really a blue-collar city. Doesn't matter what race you are, doesn't matter religion. We're just all about, helping each other out, working hard, and just having a good time, man. So, it's all about elevating the city itself and changing that, and that's what it's all about, man. Like, I don't care. I don't know about you guys, but I never cared about what somebody looks like, what job they have, how much money they make, what color, what religion. If you're a Detroit fan, if you love working hard, you're a fan of mine, and that's what I like to see. In 3 seasons, the Lions will be a force in the North. I see them 7-8 to games this year. What's up, Rick H? Hey, I haven't seen you in a minute, Rick H. Thanks for coming in, man. He is a loyal Infinite Sports Network guy, Gridiron Blitz, and Troxel Sports Talk. Appreciate you coming in here, bro. And your team, you already know, man. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're hardcore, Rick. They're hardcore. Hashtag, would you be sad if Stafford got hurt again and the Rams missed the playoffs? I would be elated. No, I would not be sad at all, because I want a better draft pick. And the worse the Rams are, the better draft pick we get. So yeah, if that makes people mad, I don't care. I want the Lions to do well. I'm a Detroit Lions fan, first and foremost. So what helps out the Lions? Better draft pick. So if the Rams stink it up, that's great. That's fantastic. I don't want to see Stafford, career end or anything like that. I'm not looking for him for that to happen. But if he gets hurt and he misses 8-9 games, oh well. I want the Lions to be better, and if that means they suck, so be it. So you tell me, how many times have we heard we are going to be better and think we're Stafford, Calvin, and Bush and Sue? We had a defense, but no offense and no defense. It happens, man. It happens. But the Lions were a good football team in 2011 and in 2014. They were a good football team, man. 11 wins and 10 wins. That was a good football team. Did we win a playoff game? Nope. We didn't win a playoff game, and that sucks. It does suck. I do believe we should have won that Dallas game. That's my personal opinion. We did get screwed by the refs in that game, and that's facts. With that said, Stafford could have got a first down. Either way, those two teams were a good football team. You had the number 2 defense in 2014. You had a supporting offense in 2010. I don't know what rank. I think it was a top 5 offense. We were crushing fools. We just didn't win a game, but it was a good team. It was a fun season. Those seasons were fun. I had fun until the playoff games. Those were. I don't know about you, but I love watching. Watching the Minnesota Viking game was glorious. Where Calvin Johnson got that first down in overtime. Glorious, beating the licks off of the Kansas City Chiefs. I think it was like 44-16. It's something ridiculous. It was glorious watching Dallas lose. The way that they lost, we came back, got an interception by our linebacker, and then turn around and Houston got an interception, and then we got the Calvin Johnson touchdown. That was glorious. Watching the Lions beat the licks off the Chicago Bears on Monday Night Football. That was a fun season, man. And the best moment in my life was the Detroit Lions fans screaming and chanting playoffs versus the Chargers when Cliff Averill got that pick 6 by Phillip Rivers in the end zone to secure that playoff berth. I was so sick that day. I was extremely sick. But I was, man, it haunts me to hear the stadium at Ford Field saying, playoffs. So, it was a fun season, man, except for the loss in the playoffs, but it was fun. Another retweet by Daryl Strickland. He says, here with Antonio, I'm in if possible. You're in. Awesome, Daryl. Awesome. We will get it up to you for you guys. I'll make sure that is good to go. If we get the number 1 pick in the draft, next year we take a quarterback. Well, if we're that bad, Yeah, I think we're taking a quarterback. If you're the number one pick in the NFL draft, generally you take a quarterback. I don't think we're going to be the number one pick. I'd look upon the Houston Texans to be the number one pick in this upcoming draft. I think that team is going to be a flop. They've had a terrible offseason. Yo, Badass, I did not see your message. No. Let me see. Hold on. Sometimes it doesn't pop up on here. Let me see. Sorry about that, folks. Sometimes it does. Subscribe to my channel so we can talk more. Antonio Hall says subscribe to the channel so we can talk more. And who says, what do you do, Mike? What bum A Stafford don't make the Super Bowl this year or next year? Will people think he's the GOAT? No, I don't think people will think he's the GOAT. So some of this stuff doesn't show up, and this is why I need to have moderators. John Kapler, you're about to become a moderator. See, and folks, sometimes this stuff just doesn't pop up. It just doesn't pop up, and I can't see it. So let me look at my stuff here and make some moderators there. Travis Doyley is a moderator. Let's make John Kapler a moderator if I can find him. If I can find him, I can't find him on here. I can't find him. There he is. Okay. We will add as a moderator. There you go. So this is why I need moderators, because I can't see the program that I use. I can't see unless I look at the YouTube channel itself. So if I don't comment on it, it's probably because I didn't see it. So sorry about that, fellas. That's what moderators are for. If it's not a bad comment worth an FU or anything like that, I don't mind showing it. As long as it's not politics, I can't stand politics, and I can't stand a bunch of F-bombs because I run a professional thing here. So you do that, I'm pretty good. Mike, can you project the starters and backups for the Lions? Yes, this is going to be a little long one here, but we'll talk with the offensive line. This one's fairly easy. I do see Taylor Decker. I do see Jonah Jackson, Frank Ragnow, Big V, and Penei Sewell is your starting offensive line. Backups. Tommy Kramer will be the backup guard. I'm going to make him the backup guard here with Stenberg as another backup guard as well. I think when it comes to the backup tackle, Terrell Crosby will be the swing tackle, and Nelson will be another backup tackle. Running back position, starter Swift, Jamaal Williams backup. Well, it's going to be like 1A, 1B. And Todd Gurley will be the third back, fourth Jefferson. That's what I have there. Tight ends, I do got Aleem Mack as the third tight end. I got Darren Fells, number 2, TJ Hawkinson, number 1. Wide receivers, I have for number 1 is Tyrell Williams. I do think Brashard Perryman will be number 2. I think Quintez Cephas, number 3. I do believe number 4 will be Amon-Ra St. Brown. This will change mid-season, but we're talking about starters. And Victor Bolden, number 5. Comes to the defense, Trey Flowers, Romeo Okwara, Julian Okwara. It's going to be a mix here because when you come to the defensive line, it's kind of like they go in and out, so it's. I'm not going to say like who's going to start the exact starting. They're going to have a lot of reps. Obviously, Levi Onwuzurike, starter there. Who's going to be next to him? I think Lee McNeil will kind of be a backup there, and then we'll battle it out to see Penei Sewell, Deshaun Hand, and Nick Williams, who gets another rotational spot there. I'm going to say Penasini will get that spot. When it comes to starting linebackers, Trey Flowers is going to get his as well. But, I do believe that it's going to be Jamie Collins, Nick Barnes, and Alex Anzalone. And obviously, I think Trey Flowers and Romeo is going to get up in there for a 3-4 type of scenario. Starting safeties, I'm going to go with, obviously, Walker. I think he's going to be the starting safety, and unfortunately, Harris will be the other safety. I don't like that, but I just see that's the case. Hopefully, Dean Marlowe can beat him out. I'd love that, but I do think Harris will be the starter. Unfortunately, I'm not happy about that, by the way. Jeffrey Okuda, Amani Awarie, and I'm going to say this. My guy, Mike Williams will take over the corner elder spot, or Mike Ford will take over the corner elder spot as the nickel cornerback for the Detroit Lions. I thought, we thought Cornell Elder was going to be the guy. I say Mike Ford does it. Let's see here. Let me get through some of these questions. For Phillies, COVID. Yeah, I hate that COVID stuff. Mike, does Aaron Rodgers play for Green Bay this season? Man, initially I said no. I'm gonna say he does. Man, it sucks, but I think he does. How long will it take the Lions to get to the playoffs and win a game? I say not to this year. I say not next year, the following year. I think the Lions could be a wild card playoff team next year. It's possible. I think they will contend for that wild card spot, but I think the third year is where they'll be a contender. Let's see. #Lions. I think Dan will make a difference in the Lions just to take time. Yeah, I think that too. That's what I think. 100% with you, badass. Let's see here. Who will be the best wide receiver in the Lions team, and who's the best receiver to draft coming who's the best wide receiver coming in this NFL draft? I have not looked at the draft yet. I'm going to continue to say this. Give me till about week 4 of the NFL season, then I'll dive. I will be doing a video a week about the NFL draft. I love taking a break, though, because I've spent so much time on this last draft. It wears you down talking about prospects. So give me about 2.5 months. I will answer that question for you once I dig into it. Who will be the number one on record, or who will be the number one guy? The number one will be Tyrell Williams. I think he's going to be, the number one guy. But who is the number one target will be T.J. Hawkinson. He's not a wide receiver. He'd be the number one target. The Cephas, I think, is going to do a lot better than what people think. And Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to do pretty good, but he is a rookie. It's just our wide receivers are not that good. They're not that good. I haven't scouted college yet either. I just haven't. Let's see. We've been through every year, and I'm so tired of been through so much of this team. Heartbroken so much, almost pull my heart out. Well, guess what? If your expectations are low, and they are, your heart won't be pulled out. That's the best way to put it. It's not going to be pulled out. If your expectations are extremely low, there's nothing to pull out. Yeah, he said, I was a Bucs fan since 1976. Hey, they won Super Bowls. We haven't. But they were bad when they were expansion team. Mike, do you have any concerns about our wide receivers? A ton of concerns. James Holyfield, a ton of concerns. I think this is one of the weaker positions for this group, for this team. With that said, I think we're going to be a run-first team, and they're going to be passing more to the running backs and tight ends. So, yes, there's a ton of concerns. You look at Williams was injured. Perryman drops footballs. Cephas was a rookie last year, even though I think he's good. Amon-Ra St. Brown's a rookie. I do have high expectations of him for a career-wise, but he's a rookie. And Victor Bolden, yeah. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard, man. 4 Phillies out, the COVID list. That sucks. I can't stand that COVID stuff. I think Aaron Rodgers will be trading to either Denver or different. I hope so. Get him out of the NFC North. I'm tired of seeing him, man. What do you think? Bobby Price making the team as a backup safety. He is big and fast and young. That'd be nice, man. I would love for that to happen, man. I love seeing these young guys do that. Absolutely. I have no problem with that. And that would be fan-freaking-tastic. And that's what I love about preseason. I know a lot of people don't like preseason, but to see these guys that come out of nowhere and make the football team. There's always one every year. There's always one. Jack Fox, last year, came out of nowhere. And does that happen every year? No. I think Tommy Kramer will be it this year. Bobby Price definitely could be one of those guys. Send me the link when you do that so I can comment. Okay, absolutely, man. Absolutely. We'll do that. I'll talk to the Trox today, and we will get that in there. Matter of fact, I'm going to send him message when I get off the stream, which I'm about to do right now, because I've been on for an hour and 15 minutes. Generally, I do this for only an hour, but I went on for a little bit longer. So, to hashtag Lions, there was a comment done by one of my members, and 9 Drinks Lions. I have added you to my members end screen. So if you're a member, enjoy this end screen. This is for you. Also, I will be trying to get some moderators. I'm gonna need some help, folks. So it's about to get crazy. So if you're wanting to do that, let me know, man. Again, it's just basically moderating the chat and not allowing craziness like a bunch of, because what happens is during the games is I guess it's not really right now, but what happens during the games is you get a lot of foolishness, and so I can't monitor it. Nothing I can do, so I'm gonna need moderators to moderate it, and it also helps with comments that don't show up for me. So if it's something that you don't think I'm gonna mind, if for some reason, like if somebody says shout out my channel, it gets blocked, and I don't care about that. I'll shout out anyone's channel on here, but for whatever reason, it gets blocked. So I'm going to need help there, and for whatever reason. And so as long as it's not a bunch of F-bombs or anything, I really don't care, and politics. So if you guys want to help me out with that, that'd be fan-freaking-tastic. With that said, I appreciate everybody showing up. Have a fantastic Sunday, and I will have a video out tomorrow, and I'll see you on Thursday. With that said, folks, adios.